Hello and greetings to all of you. My name is Jeremy Nana James Jimbun. I'm from DOL1. In today's video, I'm going to present about my presentation about geopolitics and the oil and gas industry. Now, before I present my presentation, I'm going to show you some of my table of content for my slide. Here we have the introduction of the geopolitics and oil and gas industry. Next, global oil and gas reserves. And the third, we have energy security and geopolitical interests. And 4, political tensions and conflicts. And number 5, we have regulatory framework and national policies. And number 6, we have energy transition and geopolitical shifts. And number 7 and final, we have conclusion, which I will explain later on this video. Introduction. The oil and gas industry holds significant global significance due to its critical role in powering the world's economies and societies. Oil and gas are crucial energy sources, providing fuel for transportation, heating, and electricity generation. They are also used as raw materials in various industries, including petrochemicals, plastics, and manufacturing. Geopolitics plays a crucial role in the oil and gas industry due to the strategic importance of energy resources. Access to and control over oil and gas reserves can greatly influence a country's geopolitical position and economic strength. This link often leads to complex relationships between nations, affecting global politics, alliances, conflicts, and negotiation. Oil-producing countries hold considerable leverages, and changes in their production, pricing, or supply can impact global energy markets and influence international relations. Geopolitical factors such as regional tension, trade policies, and environmental concern also shape the industry dynamics and future prospects. Next, we have the global oil and gas reserves. Oil and gas reserves are distributed unevenly around the world, with certain regions holding a significant portion of global reserves. Here's a general overview. Oil reserves. The largest oil reserves are found in the Middle East, particularly in countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, and Kuwait. These nations possess substantial reserves in conventional crude oil. Other notable oil-rich regions include Russia, Venezuela, Canada, and the United States. Gas reserves. Natural gas reserves are also found in various regions. Some of the largest gas reserves are located in Russia, Iran, Qatar, the United States, and Saudi Arabia. Additionally, countries like Australia and China have been expanding their gas reserves through unconventional sources, such as shale gas. Next up, we have energy security and geopolitical interests. Energy security is of paramount importance for countries as it ensures a reliable and uninterrupted supply of energy to meet their domestic needs and sustain economic growth. Here are some key aspects regarding energy security and geopolitical interests. The first one, we have economic stability. A stable and affordable energy supply is crucial for maintaining a strong and stable economy. Industries rely on consistent access to energy resources to operate efficiently, while households depend on energy for heating, cooling, and transportation. And second one, we have national security. Energy security is closely linked to national security. Countries strive to reduce their dependence on foreign energy sources to mitigate potential vulnerabilities and geopolitical risks. A diversified energy mix and the ability to produce or access energy domestically provide a sense of stability and reduce exposure to supply disruption. And the third one is political influence. Geopolitical interests surrounding oil and gas resources are significant. Countries with abundant reserves can leverage their energy wealth to gain political influence on the global stage. They may use energy exports as a tool for diplomacy, negotiate favorable trade agreements, or establish alliances based on energy cooperation. Next up, we have political tensions and conflict. Geopolitical factors often contribute to political tensions in oil-rich regions. Here are some key factors that can lead to such tensions. The first one is control over resources. The control and ownership of oil and gas reserves can be a source of political tension. Competing claims and dispute over territorial boundaries and maritime rights in oil-rich region can escalate to conflicts. The second one is geopolitical rivalries. Geopolitical rivalries among major powers can influence political tension in oil-rich regions. These rivalries often stem from strategic interests, regional influence, or of efforts to gain control over key energy transit routes. And the third one is ethnic and religious divisions. Oil-rich regions sometimes experience tension and conflicts rooted in ethnic or religious divisions. These divisions can be exploited and exacerbated by geopolitical factors, leading to political instability and disruption in the oil and gas industry. Next up, we have regulatory frameworks and national policies. National policies governing oil and gas exploration, production, and trade vary among countries, but there are common themes and objectives. Here are some key points regarding regulatory frameworks and national policies. The first one we have resource ownership and management. Governments typically assert ownership and control over oil and gas resources within their territories. They establish policies to regulate exploration, production, and trade, often through national oil companies and regulatory bodies. These policies aim to ensure the responsible and sustainable development of energy resources. The second one is licensing and contracts. Governments issues license and contracts to companies for oil and gas exploration and production. These agreements outline rights, obligations, and fiscal terms. The regulatory frameworks governing licensing and contracts differ, but they commonly aim to strike a balance between attracting investment and maximizing benefits for the nation. And the third one is environmental regulation. Governments impose environmental regulations to mitigate the impact of oil and gas operations on ecosystem and public health. These regulations cover areas such as drilling practices, waste management, emission controls, and environmental impact assessment. The aim is to protect the environment while promoting sustainable energy practices. Last but not least, we have energy transition and geopolitical shifts. The energy transition, which involves a shift from fossil fuels to renewable and clean energy sources, has significant implications for geopolitical dynamics. Here are some key points to consider. The first one is shifting power dynamics. The transition to renewable energy resources can lead to a disruption of geopolitical power. Countries that are rich in renewable energy resources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power may gain prominence in the global energy landscape. This can alter traditional geopolitical relationships and influence the balance of power among nations. The second one is energy dependence. As countries reduce their dependence on fossil fuels, geopolitical dynamics related to energy dependence may change. Nations that have traditionally relied heavily on energy imports may seek to diversify their energy sources to enhance energy security and reduce vulnerability to supply disruption or price fluctuations. And the third one is geotechnological leadership. The energy transition creates opportunities for countries to establish technological leadership in renewable energy industries. Those that lead in developing and producing renewable technologies may gain economic advantages and influence in shaping the global energy market. This can lead to new alliances, trade relationships, and geopolitical partnerships. In conclusion, the oil and gas industry holds global significance intertwined with geopolitics in various ways. The disruption of oil and gas reserves across the world shapes the strategic importance of regions and influences geopolitical dynamics. Energy security plays a crucial role for countries, driving national policies and strategies to ensure a stable and reliable energy supplies. Geopolitical interests are intricately linked to oil and gas resources, influencing the formulation of energy policies and shaping the industry. Regulatory frameworks and national policies governing oil and gas exploration, production, and trade vary, but they share common objectives of responsible resource management, environmental protection, and market regulations. Government and regulatory bodies play a vital role in shaping the industry, overseeing licensing and contracts, and ensuring compliance with safety, environmental, and contextual requirements. Geopolitical considerations significantly impact the formulation of energy policies. Energy securities, geopolitical alliances, conflicts, and regional dynamics all shape the policy decisions of nations. Additionally, the ongoing energy transition towards renewable and clean energy resources is transforming geopolitical dynamics, redistributing power, and altering global energy demand patterns. Oil-producing nations are diversifying their strategies to adapt to the changing energy landscapes, embracing renewable energy investment, and pursuing economic diversification. The interplay between the oil and gas industry, national policies, and geopolitical factors remain complex and dynamic. As the world continues to navigate the energy transition and address global challenges, understanding and addressing the geopolitical dimension of the oil and gas industry will be critical for a sustainable and secure energy future. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you guys can gain information and knowledge through my presentation. Thank you.